Hello everyone, thank you for joining in and welcome to SAP Ariba Supply Digital Summit. We hope that this live session on SAP Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway will give you more insight and information into the features and benefits of SAP Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway and values that you can achieve as an integrated supplier on Ariba network. My name is Dhrubajyoti Deb. I work for SAP Procurement Supplier Services. Our organization supports our suppliers and customers locally through regional-based support specialists. Supplier services cover supplier onboarding, catalog content implementation, and technical support during machine-to-machine integration. Now please allow me to introduce to you Michael Weil, who is Head of SAP Procurement Supplier Services in EMEA region. He will present to you now high-level overview of SAP Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway in terms of its features and the benefits. And of course, the values that you can achieve as an integration platform once you connect to Ariba network. Over to you, Michael.
So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we're going to go through the Cloud Integration Gateway features. Cloud Integration Gateway is the integration middleware that SAP Ariba offers to all suppliers who want to connect to buyers through our network, our procure-to-pay network. The value proposition, really, the goal of this system is to simplify the connection between your ERP and the network. It is to shorten, obviously, the timeline that you need as a supplier to connect your ERP to a buyer through the network. It covers a wide pool of industry-specific or regional standards, which is important because, as you know, formats are plethora on the ERP to ERP integration. And more importantly, we want to help you self-manage your ERP connection to the network and to the buyer, which not a lot of other companies do offer. In terms of the features, first, you can set it up if you're a technical resource. It's a very easy wizard to do setup. Second, it's single sign-on, meaning if in your organization you need to set up multiple integration, single sign-on, and you connect to the platform. Connect once, because you don't need, like you may in other platform, you don't need to set one connectivity layer per clients you connect to. And I think that's important. It's quite a big thing. Third, you can test the message. First, you can test the message yourself. Procurement message, for instance, you don't need to rely on the buyer to send you a purchase order or resend you a purchase order. If you fail to acquire it in your ERP, you can replace the testing. Your developer will be also able to save their work, which is quite important. We do have a couple of standard formats that I'm going to talk about afterwards. The platform is also allowing you to check on whether your messages, so your procure-to-pay messages, are passing through business rule, e-invoice legal, or that we're having on Ariba network. Say, for instance, your buyer would require you to fill in a PO number in your invoice and you're not sending it, the platform would tell you. Yeah. Say you're sending a forward-dated invoice or a backdated invoice, and the buyer only accepts backdated invoice 1 week. If you send a backdated invoice, which is 2 weeks, it won't pass through. And last, you can track the transaction you're testing, which is important, especially if you're doing multiple integration at the same time. You can not only track the tests that you've made, but you can also track whether those tests have been received by your clients, as you have functional and technical acknowledgement. In terms of format, we're covering SAP Ariba native language, the commerce extensive markup language, but as you see, we have plenty of other formats. Yeah, EDIFACT, D96A, D01B, pipe decks, which is more used for oil and gas, OAGIS, which is more a supply chain type of format, WUSI, again, another XML format that used to be used in the packaging industry, another EDIFACT type of standard, which goes together with the 96 D01B. 96 is more in France, D01B is more in Germany, 97 is European-wide, etc. Now, on this, I will hand over to Druba, who will introduce Arnaud from Raja Group, our next speaker.
Thank you, Michael, for the nice and informative presentation about features and benefits of SAP Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway. We are very privileged to have here with us today a special guest, Arnaud Coulinier from Raja Group. Raja Group is a French company, a leading distributor of packaging products, office supplies, and equipment for businesses in Europe. Its catalog contains more than 200,000 products to meet the business needs of its more than 1 million customers. Since its foundation in 1954, Raja Group expanded its business presence in 18 European countries with its 25 subsidiaries. Raja Group's most recent acquisition include premium office supplies firm JPG and Bernard in France, Mount Office in Italy, and Kalamazoo in Spain. Thank you, Arnaud, for taking the time and joining here with us today. I hope you will enjoy today's session, and I hope your shared insight and experiences in working with SAP Ariba will be helpful to our suppliers. Just to let our suppliers know, I had the opportunity to collaborate with you and your e-business team during SAP Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway implementation and support during JPG, Mount Office, and Kalamazoo's customers base migration from Raja Group's from their native system to Raja Group's integration platform. For that, we leveraged SAP Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway to aid in the migration process. If I remember correctly, altogether we had a plan to migrate more than 300 customers from one instances of integration platform to another. Please tell how did SAP Ariba help you address your challenge in terms of tight migration timeline and the volume of customers that needs to be migrated?
Yes, so like you mentioned earlier, Raja Group made the acquisition of the French, Spanish, and Italian entity of Staples in Europe. And due to that purchase, we had to migrate more than 300 integrated flows that were on the legacy Staples system to the Raja network. As part of that big activity, we've decided at Raja Group to set up a new integration platform to be able to industrialize more this migration. And the CRG was actually very helpful to support that. And this is why we decided to do the first migration on that new platform with SAP Ariba. With your support, Druba, we've been able to set up the main connectivity between the CIG for each country to directly our integration platform. And then it was actually very easy to migrate all the flows that we had. It was more than 100 flows that we had to migrate in a few months. And it was extremely easy thanks to the CIG. What actually was extremely useful on the CIG, especially at the very beginning when we were still learning from that new platform and setting up that new platform, was the transaction tracker that is built in the CIG. So we were able in real time to see whether the connectivity was okay, whether the messages were arriving on the Ariba platform first, and the error message that could cause the message not to have been transmitted either to the customer then or to our system.
Thank you, Arnaud, for the insight. Definitely, this will be very helpful to our viewers. who are planning to integrate on SAP Ariba network. On the note of around optimization, did SAP Ariba help you address optimization around your internal business processes? Do you feel this will have a positive impact on return on investment?
Yes, so actually we've been working in partnership with SAP Ariba for a few years now. And over the years, we've included the SAP Ariba portal directly into our processes, as we found it actually very easy for our support teams, the customer service, for example, whether they had some questions on an order that was integrated, but sometimes some information are missing. So they could directly go on the portal to check the full order, to find the right contact. Also, the new functionality that allows us to contact directly from the PO on the portal the right user on the customer side to ask question. If the shipping address, for example, is not complete enough, that we need additional information, if we're missing a phone number, if we're missing a floor level, information like this. We found that the portal now really helps smoothen the relationship that we have with our customer. Even though we are integrated, the portal still has an extreme value. It's also extremely helpful for our finance team when they have concerns or payment issue on invoices. They can go back directly to the portal, check if the invoices was accepted by the customer. If not, maybe deep dive with my team to find out why it was rejected and what they need to do for the customer to accept it. So it's really become part of our tool. I want to say it's one of the tools that our team are using on a daily basis.
How do you feel SAP Ariba will help you grow your business in terms of customer satisfaction, foster customer retention?
So the relationship and the partnership that we have with SAP Ariba is very important for us. We've been seeing it also during that very difficult period that we are all going through. If I take, for example, the Ariba Discovery platform, we were not really using it in the past, and maybe because of lack of knowledge, lack of time to invest time looking at it. But that difficult period, and with the partnership of all our contacts at SAP, we've been made aware of people, of companies that were looking for products that we had in stock, because we had the chance to have many of those masked hydroalcoholic gel cleaning wipes and stuff like that we had often in stock, because this is one of the products that we are able to sell. And we'd be extremely happy to be able to solve issues on large companies that were having difficulties finding those products for the safety of their employees. At one time, it helped us really support those companies, and also now we are starting to have now nice discussion with those companies on long-term discussion to build real relationship with them. Also, the fact that most of the customers that we are transacting with on SAP Ariba are using punch-out catalogs was also extremely helpful, because thanks to punch-out catalog, we are able to display directly on all the catalogs of all the customers directly the stock inventory. So the customer were able to know all the time if when they're placing order for such critical products, if they would be delivered or not. This really raised customer satisfaction, because we're not taking order that we will not be able to fulfill. And it really helped us go one step further into the relationship with our customers.
Couple of subsidiary questions really from me. So if I hear you well, really Cloud Integration Gateway helped you in a short period of time to do a complex migration where you may have needed 6 months, because you're talking about 100 so relationship, but you did it in the matter of what, 1 month, 2 months? You said a couple, but really, how long was the project?
So it was actually in two-phase period. Like you know, we're talking about different messages. So the order messages, we were able to do them in matter of a few weeks. And it was almost, I would say, almost 60 to 70 flows, different customers that we've been able to complete in a few weeks. And then we had to migrate also the invoicing. And for this, we also need the involvement of the customer. The CIG helped us do the first part, which was the technical one. And Ruba and SAP helped us contact directly on the customer side, the right contact, to be able to double check that the invoices was accepted properly and we're meeting all the requirements on their system. So yeah, the full transition was done in a few weeks. Yeah.
Okay, which is really short for this type of
Yes.
volume we're talking about. And now, with regards to business, when growing the business, when you're saying Ariba Discovery helped, can you tell to our listeners how it helped? What is Discovery doing for you, basically? Is it bringing new leads, or how is it working?
Yes, exactly. It's leads on products and on companies that may not know what we sell. Because Raja is a company that is well known, especially in France, but is starting to be known also a lot in all the countries that we have. However, we sell so many products that not all companies know what types of products we are able to offer. If I take the example that we have right now, not many companies knew that Raja, which is historically a packaging company, but now we are selling a lot more than packaging. Packaging is only one of the types of products that we are able to sell. So companies were able to find out through the discovery that we were saying, okay, so we know you, and we know you need cleaning wipes or you need gel. We have it. We have it on stock. We already have maybe a partnership or maybe not, but we can start discussing if you want. It was really a really helpful way to make some awareness on our prospects or customers.
And did this come to an extra cost to you? How is SAP Ariba working with Discovery? Is any buyer basically able to send you a lead? Do you have to pay a percentage for this? How is it working?
No, it's completely free. It's completely free for us at the moment. There was SAP was really wanted to help the relationship between customers and partners during that difficult period. So the solution, which was initially having a fee for us to respond, was made free by SAP Ariba.
And when you're saying that this could result in longer-term relationships, so I'm assuming that as you answered to the leads coming from Discovery, then your selling organization started to proactively contact the people that were reaching out to you, or did these people reach out to your internal salespeople afterwards? What was the dynamic of growing this relationship further?
Yeah, so basically the whole Ariba Discovery, it's not a marketplace. So it's not a customer that is saying, okay, I need this, send it to me, and then all I want is the product, that's it. The Ariba Discovery is a customer is sending a need, and then the Ariba Discovery help us get in relation and talk to that customer. So from the beginning, we are involved directly with the customer. So it's our key account team who is doing that directly. And so they're discussing like they would have to make sure that the need is well understood and that we can make sure that we offer the right price and the right products.
And so then I assume you would be able to discuss whether there are other sourcing events coming outside of discoveries that you could actually join, because SAP Ariba is also hosting all those sourcing events. The platform is very modular when it comes to
exactly. Yes, exactly. And we do have some of our customers that are renewing their contract and are using also the Ariba sourcing platform for us to respond on it. So, which is great, especially that since we are already live on Ariba as an integrated supplier, then it's easier for us to connect to the sourcing event. And then once the response of the customer, if they decide to select us, it can be very easy to implement, to launch a catalog, because we already have many. So it's a matter of days to make the system ready for them to start the business with us very, very fast.
Definitely makes sense. I have a subsidiary type of question, an additional question to how SAP Ariba helped you through the integration process. So I heard you say, of course, the technical piece was helping you a lot, just because you could obviously track your development, have single connectivity, test the purchase order yourself sometimes without even having to talk to the client, because obviously you could replace some orders that you had already received. Mm-hmm. What would be the differentiator team-wise, like support-wise, human-wise, that SAP Ariba offered that you didn't see when obviously connecting to other platforms? What did make really a difference for you? You touched on it a little bit earlier. You were saying Druba, who was allocated to the project, did help you with making sure you had the right contact, because in your organization, obviously, it's like in a buyer organization, time goes by, and as soon as the contract is signed, well, you no longer know who the contact data are to raise a purchase order, or the technical team.
Really, the technical people,
the technical people. So I heard he helped with those connections. Was he helping beyond making those connections? Like, was he helping on the invoicing side as well, to do some debug for you when you didn't really understand what the reasoning was for an invoice being rejected? How did it work out?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, the Druba's help was in both phases. It was the initial phase to find the right contact on the customer side to work with us on reopening the project, to make sure they had availability and to check when they were available to work with us. And then also, we've also been able to find out that there were some customers where they were having issues with a few invoices that we were sending them for many years, and they just not really told us. So they had all the time to manually approve all the invoices because it was missing a little things in the system. But they never got the opportunity, or even like us, they didn't know who to contact on our side to have this fixed. So it was also the opportunity to clean the integration, to make sure now it was working properly. So Druba helped us understand exactly what was wrong on the invoice and what we had to fix. So then it would be go through smoothly on the customer system.
And so, yeah, what I'm hearing through this is that this whole project also helped you re-strengthen your relationship with existing buyers, making all the automation far smoother with the error handling, reducing the workload also on the buyer side, but as well on you.
Yes, the key factor was this migration is something that we are imposing on our customers. This is not something we're happy to do. However, it's part of the. I want to say it was part of the deal. SAP Ariba is the platform where the customer investment was the smallest from all the integration and all the migration that we had to do, thanks to the support of the platform itself. CIG helped a lot doing many of the troubleshooting that would need human people to do it, and also the expertise of the Druba when we have very technical or very specific business rules or stuff like that. Yeah, so it really helped us take all this charge away from the customer and back into the supplier and the platform space, I want to say.
Yeah, because definitely SAP Ariba, even though it's a SaaS type of platform, it is highly customizable. I mean, clients can have very specific procure-to-pay flows, specific business rules. So definitely, and I would say, in conclusion, really, so beyond the platform, and thanks really Arnaud for accepting today to talk to the community on your experience. So Ariba really is focused on two things: making procure-to-pay a much smoother and integrated experience, but also it's not only solution-centric, as you hear, it's people-centric. So SAP Ariba has teams behind all through what we call the enablement experience, meaning buyer adopting the solution, their user using more and more the platform, and then more and more suppliers getting onboarded. It's not a one-off, meaning we don't do an implementation and run away. We are here for the whole duration, basically, of the subscription, of the license of the buyer on the network. And that's why also we're able to help constantly. Now, it's also important to know that you would get the same type of support in any region, because we're structured by region. We have 4 regions where we're mirroring the teams that you had the opportunity to work with. We have Europe. So today we're representing Europe, Middle East, Africa. But we also have LAC, Latin America. We also have APJ, Australia Pacific, and we have Northern America. And in each region, we have a team strong of around 100 individuals supporting across catalog enablement, supplier onboarding, and ERP integration, which is a big investment. But when you think about it, with such a large community, it is quite important. That's quite a strong differentiator.
Yeah, it makes a difference. Yeah, on many occasions. I agree.
Thank you so much for your time, Arnaud. Druba, thank you so much as well.
Thank you, Arnaud. Thank you, Michael, for taking the time and being here with us. I hope you have enjoyed the session. And of course, I hope that this session will be very insightful to our live viewers. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.